Welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this, my friends, is the Thunder Show, aka the internet's most passionate wine program. And one little fun fact: first time I'm sitting on the right side, Mott, with a guest. Is that true?
It's true.
I'm almost positive.
Should we switch places?
No, we shouldn't, because this is now the second time Daniel Jonas beat you to it by a couple of minutes, just a couple episodes ago.
Really?
The second all-time repeat guest on the Thunder Show is here. Mott, let's link up his first episode, because it is a classic. Mr. Beth, it's great to see you.
Good to be here.
Why don't you tell all the new Vaniacs who you are, and what you do, and maybe we'll talk a little bit about the experience from the last show, and
Absolutely.
then we'll talk about this. As you can see, a non-wine episode. I have no idea what this is all about. Honestly, I'm very undereducated on this, so I'm excited about it for myself. Little education hour on the Thunder Show. This is going to be fun. I can feel it. Fire away.
This is all about an upper. That's really what I do. I'm your enabler. I mean, we're here to have a good time. This is true. And so, last time I was on the show was also sommelier at Little No in Aspen, which I'm no longer doing.
When did that stop? I didn't realize that
That
actually.
stopped in July, last
In
July.
July.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was a long run.
It was 8 years. 8 years in the mountains. It's a good time.
And a
But-
very serious program.
And a very serious program, indeed.
And a great time, huh, for you? That
Oh,
must have been.
I mean, that
It's
is
the
the
platform.
best sommelier job on the planet.
And who took over?
Jonathan Pullis, who's rocking it there right now. Yeah, he's
Cool.
doing really well. So, with all that said, and since the last time I was here, the wines, which we do, Betts and Scholl, which we talked about last time, have just gone crazy. And, thanks for that. That's awesome.
You made the wine.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I'll be thrilled to say this is hogwash and the wines were hogwash. I've done it. I love it. Actually, I prefer it. I'm really hoping I'm like, spit it on you, Mott.
That could happen.
Anything's possible.
Right? This is high proof, it's 90 proof.
I see it. I see
That might
it.
happen.
It might.
So, but with all that said, it's been an unbelievable ride, and it's gotten to the point where, so this is
It
what I'm
became
doing.
full-time.
Exactly.
It became
full time.
full-time.
So we're rocking Betts and Scholl.
Give us a 1 minute update on Betts and Scholl. We're still doing Grenache. I know is like kind of the hot thing.
Yep. So we're doing still 3 continents, 3 countries. United Airlines thinks I'm the coolest guy out there right now. It's a
Very nice.
It's,
That's
200,000 miles a year is that's a lot of time on an airplane.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
They should
It's
be
all good.
pouring your wine.
They should be pouring my wine. United, pay attention, right? So I still make that 36-hour commute to Australia, where we're making amazing old vine Grenache. I mean, the youngest vines we're working with down there are 86 years old. Youngest. That's
Old.
crazy. Right?
That's old.
Yeah, and nobody cares about these vineyards still. So
And the whole old vines thing is like so weird, right? I mean, like it's first of all the term is abused.
oh yeah, and there's no definition.
Is it? I don't know this. Is it true that like if I had 3-year-old vines, I could put old vines, or no? There's got to be some barometer in the U.S. No.
In the U.S., I don't actually think there is a law.
I don't
mean,
either.
I could be wrong, but
I got to look into that. Somebody can leave it in the comments. You're more than welcome. I feel like there isn't. I feel like it's very kind of it's crazy. But 86-year-old vines, pretty gnarly, huh?
they look like tree trunks growing
Yeah.
out of a sand dune. I mean, it makes it worth the 36-hour commute to work.
And so you've been doing that, and you've been doing that now for what, 4 or 5 vintages?
First release was 2001 vintage.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so very shortly here, I'm going to depart and do 2009 vintage. Spring here, fall there.
Sure.
Yeah. So we're doing that. We're working with the Shaw family in Hermitage. So
I know
we're
that.
doing red white Hermitage.
Which I
just
love. The
right on.
white is killer. White wine is underrated.
Yeah. I'm not supposed to have a favorite. They're all my children. But
Sure.
That's the favorite.
Well, my mom says that too, but I'm her favorite. So.
Right on.
Yeah. I mean, sorry. Okay.
I love that. And then we're rocking with Randy and Debbie Lewis at Lewis Cellars.
Yeah, that's right.
Making some Syrah.
California Syrah. Good.
Makes
I mean,
sense.
good stuff. I mean, are you as passionate about it? I mean, I know I'm putting you on the spot. Everyone's your children. I mean, California Syrah is listen. I like it. I am actually probably a bigger fan than most.
Right.
But it's still kind of like, in comparison to the other two varietals, for me, for my palate and the kind of
totally.
things I like, where does that fall in place for you? I mean, they're so awesome that you probably just love that project as people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for me, I mean, there are a lot of things done well in California. I mean, Pinot is for sure an overindulged princess. For sure. Totally.
Kind of like Mott. He's an overindulged princess.
Nice. you know, everyone's doing Cabernet Chardonnay, and I'm actually a big fan of Syrah. We still
But
don't even know
everybody
where
gooped it, right?
Everybody did goop it.
I mean, it's so
how do
good.
we not goop it? You know, how do we reel it back a little bit?
And you get thrown into it, right? Here I am, an educated wine guy, and you can see my tone is, and it's too bad because I know what you do with it. Though it is probably even within your line my least favorite because I guess the flavor's so replicatable. I mean, that's my biggest fear with the I don't know nuances. But anyway, what I'm really curious about, why we set this show up, is I don't feel like I get educated on the Thunder Show enough. And I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of pissed at the Vaniacs out there because I want to learn a couple things, and I know nothing Mezcal. So tell me what this is. Educate us.
This is a good time. This is an upper.
Okay.
This is, and I'll tell you, I
We'll
come
zoom
to
in a
this
second.
very much.
So what is this?
So this is Mezcal. Right?
So Mezcal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you slide a little more. This is Mezcal, and the brand is called
Sombra
Sombra.
means the shadow.
The Shadow. I like that. Shadow Man.
Yeah. You're gonna kick it.
Valiant Comics. Fun fact. Just saying. Mezcal is what?
Mezcal is any agave that you grow in Mexico.
Okay.
Harvest it. So you know what an agave looks
Yes,
like?
yep.
You harvest it, and there are 28 different varieties, something like this, that you can use.
I don't know
Harvest it
that. So there's
means
28 different varieties.
27 to 29, depending on who you ask.
Okay.
So I roll right in the middle, 28.
Curtis Martin.
You cut off all the spines, you're left with the piña, which looks like a pineapple. And that
Okay.
thing weighs about 70 pounds.
Okay.
Right? And so, in our case, this can happen anywhere in Mexico. For us, it's on these really steep slopes that'd be fun to ski, way up in the Oaxacan Sierra. So you fly to Mexico City, then you fly another hour and a half south to Oaxaca, then you get in the car and you drive up in the mountains 2.5 hours to a village of 172 people, and you're at 8,000 feet there. And up to 9,000 feet is where these agave grow. So you're up there on the side of this hill. You've chopped off all the things. You chop off the piña.
How big
from
do the stalks, I guess, or what are they
As tall as
called?
me, so 6 feet. These things they're big.
I heard they're humongous. I've
They're
never seen it.
huge. And that piña now is
And
70 pounds.
And so when you cut, do you do anything with the what is the term for those things?
I just call them the swords. You mean the
Yeah.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah. And so the humidor.
So the swords, what do you do when you cut them?
You just leave them there on the ground.
Nothing good can happen.
No,
We can't turn some sort of new energy drink out of them.
that's a good idea.
Dude, business,
Right.
baby.
We
Okay.
can
Anyway,
work this out.
so
We should
so you
mix
cut
up.
them,
So they come off,
And the
then
big
so
ass
you got the piña,
70 piña,
Exactly. You
okay.
chop that off, and then you got to roll it down the hill. But don't forget the hill's like this, and at the bottom of the hill is your burro. And if you kill the burro with that piña, you've got to schlep that back to the palenque. So you load up the burro with 4 or 5 of these things.
That's ridiculous.
It's off the hook.
Okay.
This is likely the only spirit produced on the planet today that is as it was produced 200 years ago.
Now
That's
Mezcal.
really crazy.
So
actually.
keep going. I
Yeah.
don't want to interrupt you. So
you-
the burro.
The burro hauls these things back to the palenque. The palenque is ready to distill.
Okay.
And so you chop these things up at this point.
Okay.
And you've got your pit, which you've done. Now
Okay.
picture a pit. It's 12 feet
This is
diameter.
so let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Nothing for nothing. You need to videotape this.
Let's do it.
I'm in. This would be insane. First of all,
It's
I'm not
pretty
that
crazy.
strong because I can't probably pull off any of those things. But okay, keep going. I'm sorry, I did interrupt you, but you have to videotape it.
Yeah.
I know everybody's gonna agree. I want to see this.
It's
But
crazy.
go ahead. Go ahead.
So you've got your pit. The
Okay.
pit's lined with rocks.
Okay.
You build a fire. So
Okay.
you got to chop some wood, right? So you chop some wood. You build a fire. You cover that fire with more rocks, and then these piñas, which you've brought back,
right,
chopped up,
chopped up.
throw them in there. It's just like making Kahlua pig on the beach, right? So you're going to bury this whole program. So you take some of the fibers from the previous distillation, put that on top of these. Some banana leaves. They're like woven banana leaf mats. Then mud, dirt, straight up dirt.
This is ridiculous. Keep going.
It's ridiculous. And so
It sounds like a marketing story for an energy drink.
right.
You
It
know,
should,
okay.
totally.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and then the Oaxacan gods right? Exactly.
Then
So
Tatanka from WWF comes and blesses
Exactly.
it. Papa Shango. Okay, go ahead.
So after, 4, 5, 6 days, however long it is, this thing subsides a little bit because, the fire
Yep.
became ash, the rocks
Sure.
fell, everything
Okay.
sort of collapses in, and you're done, right? It's cooked. So you pull off the dirt, you pull off the banana leaves, you pull off the fiber, and you pull it out, and these things they're dark mahogany, like leather, whatever.
Okay.
And it tastes like sugar cane. It's crazy. Plus all of its own flavor. So
Right.
you've taken that starch that was the agave,
Yes.
now it's sugar.
Okay.
Right? So shovel that into, again, it's maybe 10, 12 feet in diameter. It's a cement circle with a cement wheel about 6 feet tall and 1.5 feet wide. You've got basically a tree through the middle of that, an old wood pole on an axis and a horse.
Keep
right?
going.
And so the horse pushes the thing, which pulls the wheel, which grinds the agave in the little, matate situation right there. I mean, it's off the hook, right?
Yes.
So it grinds it up, makes it this big goopy
You know you've
paste.
hit your quota for off the hook, right?
Have I?
Yeah, you're 4. Ma just filled me in.
Really? Is that
Yeah.
4?
Yeah, so go ahead.
All right.
I think it's 3
something
actually,
now.
but go
Okay.
ahead. Anyway,
Do I have any awesomes left?
no, awesomes are unlimited.
Okay, right on. So with that said, you then take this big goopy mash and you put it into these old barrels. And they're of indeterminate size, but the 3 of us could hop in there and we'd still be able to have a chat.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we could. Yeah. And so it's packed in there and it hangs out for about a day. Then we add a little river
You're a
water.
Giants fan. Go ahead.
But
I
those
love
are
it.
fighting words.
But I love it.
So then a little
Here's
river water
waves.
just to make it like a slurry because it was like a paste before, right?
Okay.
And so then you're brewing. And so the ambient yeast take over and this thing, it basically ferments like you're
Yeah.
making a beer, right?
Yep.
And so after, 8 or 9 days or so, you have your beer. That beer might be 4%.
Yep.
And so then at that point you take all of this stuff and you put it into the still.
Got it.
Chop more wood, turn
Got
the
it.
still on, and do it 2 times. And we do it right to proof. And this is an important point to me. So we arrange.
So this is
basically-
90 proof?
This is 90 proof.
Mhm.
And we got there deliberately. It was okay. Well, let's taste it at 80. Taste it at 85, 90, 95, and 100. And where do you get the most information? Like I want, and everything.
Now, do you
I-
figure, I'm sorry to interrupt, but do you figure because you created the parameter to be 80 to 100 that you naturally ended up at 90?
I think
Do
it
you
was
know?
pure dumb luck.
Really?
Yeah, pure dumb luck. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because what we were looking for were 2 things. Where do you get the most information, and where do you get the most cool package? Something that goes down easily.
Sure.
80 was actually harsher, more harsh than 90. It also had a lot less information. 100 was really smart. There's all this detail, but I mean, if nobody else likes this, I got to drink it, and I'm prepared to do that. That's fine. But with that said, 90 is what just went down really, really easily, and had a whole lot of information.
Mezcal.
Yes.
How in the heck, this is what every single person is thinking right now, how in the heck does Wine Guy decide he wants to be involved in Mezcal? Is this entrepreneurial? Was this something that you had, because as you know, chartreuse and other things like that,
Yep.
us wine guys, late night, we start drinking crazy stuff.
We do.
Often beer.
Right.
But plenty
Lots
of
of that.
times, whether it's scotch,
Yeah.
chartreuse almost all the time.
Yep.
Mezcal is in that world. Is
It
that
is.
how it ended up happening or no?
It happened just burning love. I mean, straight up. I mean, everything on the back bar, I think it's interesting to me, but a lot of it's sleepy time. Like any brown liquor, instant sleepy time for Richard. And I'm not about going to bed. It's about a party,
I understand.
So how do we get up? And through whatever, all the trials that we do as wine guys or consumers, find, for me, agave is a stimulant. It's a totally different buzz. It's the only thing on the bar that it's pump it
Yeah.
up. And so with that said, finally, after years and years of thinking that I got to do this, I want to make a tequila, I want to make a tequila, I want to make a tequila. All right, I'm going to do this. This is the time. I'm sick of waiting. I just got to get out of bed and do this today, right? So we do this.
How is this different than a tequila?
That's awesome. So
I mean, because right? I mean, you were thinking that, right? Vaniacs, I'm here for you. Go ahead.
right? So we go, you go look at tequila,
Yep.
and it's, big multinational corporations
Yep.
rocking it, doing their thing. It's
Patron's
not-
making straight bank,
Yep. Oh my God.
killing it. Okay.
Good for them. And it's not a place where a guy can, writing small checks for this. My wife's going, "What are you doing, dude?" I was like, "I got to do this, honey. I'm really sorry."
Did she say
So-
dude?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just
When,
making
when,
sure.
when she's angry,
Yeah.
when
That's
she's
what
calling
comes
me
out.
out, like putting some distance.
Yeah.
Dude.
Dude. So,
Seriously.
go ahead.
And so you go down there and you just can't roll in and compete on those terms. It just doesn't work. One of the good things about our work is due diligence, which just means we get to drink everything from everywhere.
Yeah,
So
no
you're
question.
like, okay, all right, we like tequila, but if you really get to the root of the story, you learn that tequila actually was once mezcal. The tequila guys like to say, all tequila is mezcal, but not all mezcal is tequila. I say that's awesome, because it really has preserved the diversity and really preserved the tradition. So that whole part about the steep slopes, those don't really exist in Jalisco. And the whole part about the high elevation, it's not the same. And the whole part where we build the fire and do it in this very traditional way, they've taken out all of those steps and use either ovens or steam. And it's almost the vodkaization of this thing, of this process.
But from the essence of where it comes from, same place. Agave, I mean, same place?
They use blue agave.
Correct,
That,
right?
that grows
So
big
that-
and fast.
yes.
It's soft. It's easy.
Yep.
I'm not saying better or worse, but it's definitely different.
But clearly you're saying that not as good. Go ahead.
Yeah. Maybe I am.
Okay.
And so this is from Espadín agave, which is the genetic mother of blue agave.
Okay.
Yeah. So allegedly it has more to say.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's always got a lot to say to me. I don't-
Wise.
Right, and so it's about you can do this anywhere in Mexico, but for me, in that process of due diligence, so we tasted things from Durango. I grew up drinking Bacanora from Sonora.
Yep.
And when you get to Oaxaca, it's like, okay, I'm getting warmer. This is making sense. I'm approaching that spot where it's intellectually satisfying. It feels really good. Okay, so now we're in Oaxaca. Now where do you go? Well, you look around the town, you're 5,000 feet, you go up the hill 6,000 feet, you're starting to learn some more things. It's just like your own Easter egg hunt, except you pick where the prize is.
Did your wine intuition factor? I mean, for me, as you're telling this story,
Yeah.
because that's what it all is about at some level, and quality's got to be there, but did your wine intuition, did the fact that you said to yourself, wow, as we know, let them stress, mountain fruit, did that play a factor in the romance of the slopes? Did you think that made sense to you on a global scale?
You know what?
Or no?
Now that we're talking about
Yeah.
it makes a ton of sense. I didn't look at it in that way at all, actually.
Really?
Yeah, not at all.
Because that's my immediate intuition towards
That's
it.
wild. I mean, I'm comfortable in the mountains. I live in the mountains, so that just felt
Right.
good to me.
You're just a mountain dude.
It just feels good. Yeah.
Now, so you and a partner, I assume,
Yeah.
got together and created this brand.
Yep, exactly. And so, and in deference to really the king of Mezcal, Ron Cooper of Del Maguey, he's been amazing for us as well, and shown us all the way to the village where we ended up, which is called San Luis del Rio. That's the village of
And how many
70-some people.
mezcals are in the U.S. market, by your estimation, or in ballpark?
Okay, so Ron,
Different brands.
with Del Maguey,
And is Del Maguey considered
I mean, that's
king?
the king. Yep. And,
And how much is that?
He does, I think that they start in, what do I want to say, like the 60, 70 range and go up to
Del Maguey.
200. Yep. And then there's something called Scorpion, which is out there. It actually has a scorpion in it.
I had that actually.
Yeah.
Right now, that just got it.
Yeah. And
Yep.
then there's Los Danzantes, which I think those guys do a good job. And then there's us.
So you claiming there's only four? You feel there's only 4 brands in the U.S.?
Well, there's
You're talking about premium?
premium.
I see, but
I mean, I think you can actually still
is
buy
there
mezcal with the
is there
word
a
worm in it.
Pabst Blue Ribbon mezcal in the market?
I'd like to think that we're it, actually.
Really?
Yeah, totally.
Well, I like Pabst too. So let me go in a different direction. Is there, is there like a plastic bottle mezcal in the market?
There is, yeah. I don't know. I think it's called Cruzano. It's actually named after the worm, and it has a worm in it.
Got
And
it.
that's the big myth to really dispel. I mean, mezcal's not inferior to tequila. Tequila's just sort of separated themselves, and they're doing their own thing.
Because
right?
the brand of tequila is stronger.
Exactly. Yep. I
Today.
mean, they're smart. I mean, they set themselves apart 100 years ago.
Yep.
They've been at it,
Yep.
making this happen. But importantly, the worm is just, it's a hoax. I mean, what's the point of
It's
that?
marketing.
It's marketing. It's marketing, and it also, I mean, this thing's, when you're down there, you can actually taste like the worm tincture. It's wild. If you
Yeah.
go to these palenques, everybody's making mezcal.
Yeah.
But they'll have a bucket of worms and just this little mezcal. It's this gross brown goo that they put a drop in it, and whatever. Now you've got worm flavor. It's disgusting, but it's also the quickest way.
It sounds good, actually.
It's
I'm
pretty-
really into
it's-
it. I want to try it. So that's so
I'll
weird. You
bring
said
you some
disgusting. I
back.
was like, oh man, I need to try that.
I'll
Go
bring
ahead.
you some back.
Go ahead.
But what that is about is covering bad distillation.
Sure,
right?
of course,
Look,
of course.
I mean, hey, we don't care. We're just doing the stuff.
Oak.
Gets you high.
It's like
exactly,
oak.
It is like oak.
It's the oak monster, but it's the worm monster.
Totally.
Not the worm monster. Who knew? Okay, very interesting. Suggested retail.
$47.
Restaurant to retail, what's going to be the spread, you think,
50/50.
is your hope?
That's what's happening right now.
That's what's happening right now. How much did you produce?
We just landed 1,000 cases.
12 packs or 6 packs?
Sixes.
Okay,
And-
so not too bad.
No, and half of it just evaporated. So we're gonna.
On your charisma and connections. Tell the truth.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think that.
Nobody was like, hey dude, you got some mezcal on you?
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
You're right. No one has said that.
Okay.
But what everybody has said, much to our surprise, is like, no way, that's awesome. Let's drink this. This
So when
is
you
totally
bring it up,
fun.
right.
Party!
And people do, in this world, always want to expand their palates.
For sure.
Which is a huge part of the success of my show, I
Yep.
think. People naturally want to try new
Totally.
things. And I
that
think,
part.
you know what? Quick question of the day. This is not the question of the day because you know the rules. But quick question of the day. My question of the day. How many of you out there have had mezcal? Yes, no's. Very simple. All right. Back to this. Let's taste this.
Let's do it.
Let's give it a sniffy sniff. It has a lot of aromatics.
Yeah.
A lot.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it has a lot. What are you picking up on the nose? I mean, it is tequila-like.
Yeah, oh,
I
for
mean,
sure.
No
It should be.
Right, it comes
Yeah.
from the same,
Yeah.
not the same, the mother, but,
I'm totally happy to tell you what I think, but I want to know what you smell.
okay.
Yeah. It's that whole power of suggestion.
No, of course, listen. Do I know? Hey, staff, here's this wine that we have to sell. This tastes like tremendousness, right? Yes, tremendousness. I'm with you on that.
That's awesome.
It's also the scoring system,
Oh,
right?
totally,
90
totally.
points? Oh, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So, I'm with you. I really like the charcoal component to this.
Yeah.
I get a lot of like fresh charcoal coming through in the nose. I also get a little bit of like I refer to a lot of times like a burnt BMX tire skid
Yeah,
mark.
yep.
It's a little bit more serious than that. It's almost like a big wheels, like Bigfoot.
Totally.
The monster truck Bigfoot.
Yep.
If he spun out, or she, that that burnt rubber kind of smell, I'm getting a little bit of that in the nose as well.
I like it.
Bigfoot thing.
It might have to be a burnout because Bigfoot's so high, which is probably
There's actually a pepper component to this.
very peppery.
I'm-
Nice, and that's actually very classic for agave.
Yeah, I mean, like quite a bit, almost even more like white pepper.
Yep, for sure. Real high tone.
Yeah, real high tone. Yeah, that's coming through quite a bit for me.
cool, isn't it?
I'm also getting, and see, I wonder if this is like power of suggestion of cuisine that I think about when you go there, but I do distinctly get a little bit of a lime kind of play on the nose.
For sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, to me, very citrusy.
Yeah, And I always wonder, am I just thinking of a Corona and a lime, I mean,
Well,
but I'm,
those are good too.
Very good.
Yeah.
Kind of. All right. What about you? What are some of the classic
I
things?
think you're all over. I mean, there's definitely a smoky
I mean, let's be
component.
honest. I'm tremendous.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but go ahead.
I love it.
Go ahead.
So, certainly smoky, no doubt.
Yeah.
Right?
Let it go.
There's a ton of citrus to me.
Yep.
That really high tone stuff. Definitely
Yep.
the peppery part.
Yep.
And that's a real like agave signature.
Yep.
I also think there's kind of a chocolatey element to it.
I'm not picking up as much, but
Like a milk chocolate to me.
yeah, no. Listen,
Yeah,
we all have
yeah,
listen,
right?
and you have a tremendous nose,
It's
so you
awesome,
must be.
isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like
It's a receptor.
It's
Yeah.
awesome. It really does smell great.
Yeah, it's floral.
What do you say, 37 or 47?
47, hopefully working.
See,
actually, too.
my retail skills just came out. 37, right?
Yeah. Perhaps
right.
soon, actually.
Oh, listen, if my library carried it, it'd probably be 29.
I love that.
You know how we
Let's do
roll.
that.
All right, let's give this a whirl.
Right on.
Now, the first thing that
Right?
very interesting, no question about it. Much, much, much different than tequila
Yeah. Oh,
on
yeah.
the palate,
Yep.
but less so on the nose.
Right.
I mean, I drink a fair enough
Yeah.
tequila to. So I'll tell you the first thing that catches me. Very intense fruit. That
Yeah.
citrus fruit on the initial attack.
Right?
Then it chills for a second, and then I get all that smokiness.
Blows up.
I mean, I really feel like I just walked into a cigar bar and just went, oh. You know what I mean? Like on the
Totally.
back end. Interesting roller coaster for me. I kind of enjoy that. I like that, lemony, limey kind of thing. It's really kind of quick.
Yeah.
I do feel like the middle part, I gotta retaste it. The middle part, or like a mid palate.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't catch anything. And then it got real smoky for me. Real heavy, like almost like smoked beef jerky kind of thing.
Nice.
I think so. I like
It
beef
might be
jerky.
the burrow,
It might be. I mean, this is really smoky, huh?
Oh yeah, no, it's smoky.
Do you think cigar fans love this? Does that make a play?
I think that they will like it. I think Scotch fans will like it.
I think Scotch fans are gonna love it.
I do, for us, it's
Because
really
they-
important that it have some of that smoke character. I mean, you can't escape it. That's our process. But I also think, within the realm of Mezcal, we're deliberately working really just through the venting at the Palenque to make it not as smoky as some.
I say,
You want
yeah,
to be a
I don't have enough,
component
this is an interesting thing for me because I don't have as much experience.
Because the smoke can
So-
be like your oak. right? The
Yeah.
smoke can just dominate, and then you don't get your lime, and you don't get your pepper, and you don't get all those
So
things.
smoke,
So that's how you get
and so there's a smoke monster. We've got, so there's
Exactly.
a smoke monster like the oak monster.
Exactly, the worm hides behind the
Yeah,
smoke.
the worm monster is a whole different story. And so that is the fear and the balance.
Yes.
So you're telling me as I now start this journey, which I will now, because now I'm curious. This is the great game of what probably a lot of the people first getting into wine now. You think it's kind of cool, the show, and you're starting into wine. You know that feeling? You're excited. You want to try all different things. I'm now experiencing that, especially when you tell me now that there's the smoky play. Now I'm like, huh. So you're telling me that smoke on the back end, in a less complex way, if you're getting a more entry-level mezcal, you're going to get that in spades.
In spades.
So if you're a big-time smoker, 13 packs a day, mezcal is your play as a beverage.
Sure.
I mean, at some level, a cheap mezcal that way that's not so strong is a smoker's beverage.
Well, do you think it's
I mean,
more
it's
like
very smoky.
Is it Parliament, or is it, are we menthol here?
You know,
What are
I've
we
never. Do
rocking
you know
here?
I've never smoked anything in my life, even tried?
Wow.
I just lost like 400 fans.
Oh my God.
Admitting that, but I got to be real.
I don't think you can run for office now.
It's like the reverse, now, right?
Right?
My mom is a genius. She's like, do not ever do drugs or smoke a cigarette. Like when I was like 12, and
Yeah.
I will cry if you do. I'm like, no, mom, you
I
can't
don't
cry.
want you to cry.
She's a marketing
That's
genius.
awesome.
That's where I get from.
Unreal.
So I don't know, but it's very smoky for me on the
Yeah.
back, and maybe I'm more sensitive to it, hence not doing that. I don't know, but I think Mott, who's a heavy smoker, how many cigarettes a day, Mott? Half a pack, which is heavy to me because I want it to be down to one. I'm working on it. As a matter of Vaniacs, let's start sending Mott emails to tell him to stop quitting. He's gonna get very annoyed at me right now. I'm not gonna put your email there to save you a couple emails. But do you think, Mott, do you want to try this?
Yeah.
I'm very curious now. Let's get Mott to get in here and try this. I think you might like this. Do you like tequila? Right, understood.
I see what you mean about the smokiness. Yeah, if I had a cigar, it would be good.
Right on.
Has cigar been appearing with this? Is that in play? Is that something that people are talking about or not yet?
Everything pairs ultimately.
Fair
right?
enough, but is
Yeah.
it a thing? Not yet. It's not cigar
Not,
porn.
not as a smoker.
You're not. But have you heard that? Is that something, or is that just not talked about
I
yet?
think we heard it here first.
I'm telling you. But I mean it. I mean, I
could be
think
good.
I think cigar bars should really look at a beverage like this.
For sure.
I mean, for me at least, this is really interesting stuff. I mean, to me, I'm shocked how different on the profile it is than tequila.
Isn't it wild?
But it's the smokiness. It's the burrow, right?
Yep, it's the burl.
So it's a smoky play. I mean, it really is.
Yeah,
and again,
for sure.
I'm talking a lot about it, and I don't want to disrespect because I think you're trying to get away from it and look for that balance. I don't want to undermine, and I said it, that lime in the beginning kind of thing going on. But, to me, I've never had a smoky beverage.
It's cool, isn't it?
It is cool.
You know what else is really cool about that is, someone else picked up on that guy named Jim Meehan.
Okay.
And so we're working with
Is he
Jim.
also a genius?
Jim is a genius. And
So, but go ahead.
yeah, so Jim keeps the bar at PDT
Okay.
here in the city.
Yep.
And so we're working with him to figure out, well, how do you mix this stuff? I like drinking
So
it straight.
you're looking to Jim to create a drink.
He created 10 of the craziest, most sophisticated cocktails. And at the outset, he's like, this is the first time that as a bartender, you really have a clear spirit that has smoke. And so he's looking at, this is my palette. My palette to paint with, it just got bigger. That's
changed the
really
game.
cool.
Now on the flip side, though,
Yeah.
are called like smoke and mirrors, right?
Right.
And be like, oh, that was a good one.
Yeah,
Trademark it, Mott. You have it already.
No,
Anyway,
we have beer and a smoke.
got
But,
it. Smoke and mirrors. It's mine. It's mine. At some level, for me, I feel like no. Treat this more like a premium single malt. Don't let it get into the cocktail world because to me, this is a sipper.
Right.
I
I totally appreciate that. I think that it's...
you should have both for business, and I get that. But
also-
do you view it more as a single malt and as a non-blended thing, or are you more chill about it and say, you know what, whatever?
for me, it's really consistent with the way I looked at my jobs as sommelier.
Yeah.
It's not about me. It's
I heard
about
you were a huge
you.
Kendall Jackson Chardonnay fan.
I love it, dude. we case
Like, I heard you-
we case stacked that stuff
When you
at
walked
the
into
front
the
door of
restaurant, right?
Welcome to the Relais Chateau. Here's your KJ.
And no dissing
Let's
on KJ
roll.
Sharp. By the way, did you see Parker gave it a 90?
Love that. Right
Yeah,
on.
so no dissing
That's
on that,
strong.
just a famous one.
Yeah. So, for me, hey, drink it however you like it.
Yeah.
Whatever feels good, do it. I'm not here to say just do this or just do that.
Killer education for me. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Much
You've
obliged.
been a guest before. Question of the day.
Question of the day.
Yep. No, you. Fire away. You 18
Oh my
months off.
gosh!
You forgot.
On the spot.
Listen, you've done it once before.
I love that.
You have a crap memory. You were on 18 months ago.
Well, this stuff, it's really
fire
hurt me.
away.
Question of the day. I get to ask him anything.
Anything you
I
want. It doesn't have to necessarily be about this. Anything you want. You're a big ski guy. You can ask. Fire away. Whatever you want.
Anything
What are
I
you
want.
curious? There'll be 200-300 responses. What do you want to know?
What do I want to know?
In the world. Don't look
Yeah.
at me. Look at them.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Holy cow.
This is my favorite. Legitimately, this is why I have guests.
Really?
I care less about the old mezcal. Fuck that. That's not my question.
Totally.
of the day.
Yeah. You know what? What I'd like to know. I'd like to know where are they finding their sense of optimism? Because I've got one. I wake up with it every single day, and I think that that's really important. Yeah. Where are you finding it?
That's a tremendous question.
Yeah.
That's why I like you.
Yeah.
Good job. That's a great
pleasure.
question.
Thank
One of my favorites. You, with a little bit of me, we're changing the mezcal world.